Modific's $897 million IPO is covered within hours, and ADNOC awards a $1.53 billion contract to ADNOC Drilling. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Saudi utility Modific secured enough investor demand to fully cover its up to $897 million IPO within hours of opening order books. Its shareholders include Aramco and SABIC. Modific set the price range for its IPO at between $10.90 and $12.24 a share, and books are covered throughout the range. Book building lasts until Friday, followed by a retail offering from October 26th to the 29th. Modific would have a market value of $3.1 billion at the top end of that price range. Saudi Ports Authority, known as Mawani, has inked 2 contracts with PC Marine Services and Modern Building Leaders to build new berths and allow giant vessels to arrive at the Jeddah Islamic port. The deal with MBL, through a consortium with Huta Hagerfield Saudia, is worth $169.9 million. The port is the largest in the kingdom in terms of volume and cargo handling capability, covering an area of 12.5 square kilometers. It manages more than 65% of all goods imported through Saudi ports. Abu Dhabi National Oil Company has awarded a 2-year contract worth $1.53 billion to its subsidiary ADNOC Drilling for the provision of rigs. The contract covers the provision of 12 jackup rigs and 2 island rigs and the associated integrated drilling services. The award will help ADNOC boost oil production capacity to 5 million barrels per day by 2030 and facilitate gas self-sufficiency for the UAE. Over 80% of the award value will flow back into the UAE's economy under ADNOC's in-country value program. The French and Algerian prime ministers have declared a wish to deepen their countries' ties during a top-level meeting mainly addressing economic cooperation. French and Algerian ministers signed around a dozen texts, including declarations of intent to develop trade, innovation, and to create jobs. Both sides de-emphasize the role gas supplies play, but the French side says Paris wants to develop joint projects in the sector with Algeria to increase the efficiency of its gas production capacity, which will increase its export capacity to Europe. The Kremlin has praised OPEC Plus for output cuts that it says countered the mayhem caused by the U.S. A Kremlin spokesman said such balanced, thoughtful, and planned work of the countries which take a responsible position within OPEC is opposed to the actions of the U.S. He said this at least balances the mayhem that the Americans are causing. The Kremlin says the cut proved that some countries understand the absurdity of Washington's demand for a price cap on Russian oil. Shares in Chinese tech giants Alibaba and Tencent, as well as in chip makers, slumped today following the latest U.S. crackdown on China's chip-making industry. The U.S. wants to slow Beijing's technological and military advances. The Biden administration published a sweeping set of export controls on Friday, including a measure to cut China off from certain semiconductor chips made anywhere in the world with U.S. equipment. The rules include blocking shipments of a broad range of chips for use in Chinese supercomputing systems that nations around the world rely on to develop nuclear weapons and other military technologies. A Boeing 737 MAX flight by Miat Mongolian Airlines landed in Guangzhou this morning, marking what appears to be the first commercial flight by the model to China since the country grounded the plane in March 2019. Chinese airlines haven't returned the 737 MAX to commercial service. Boeing last month said it would begin to remarket some of the planes meant for Chinese customers. The aircraft has returned to commercial service in almost every market globally, with the exceptions of China and Russia. Amazon will invest $974.8 million over the next 5 years in electric vans, trucks, and low-emission package hubs across Europe, accelerating its drive to achieve net zero carbon. It says the investment is also aimed at spurring innovation across the transport industry and encouraging more public charging infrastructure for EVs. This will bring its EV fleet in Europe from 3,000 vehicles now to more than 10,000 by 2025. While many large logistics firms want to buy EVs, there still aren't many available for purchase. And Instagram and Twitter say they've restricted the accounts of Kanye West over anti-Semitic posts. In the tweet, which is no longer visible on West's account, the rapper said, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people." It's an apparent reference to a U.S. military readiness code known as DEFCON. The restrictions come after West stirred controversy last week by wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt during Paris Fashion Week. I'm Ramya Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.